money.
Let's get to the
Money.
Let's get to the
Money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in your ass screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty K, the 4 units getting played. Always find the value, I will never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-Prop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the ass screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies. Let's get to the motherfucking money. This ain't your grandma's show, guys. So shout out to the chat. Smash the like on your way in here. Welcome to the Balking Dead. I'm your host, Sharpie's Bets. And this show is still sponsored by Prize Picks. So go on over to Prize Picks. Use that promo code SPORTS. Your first match deposit up to $100. They got you. So yeah, do us a favor, do you a favor, and use that fucking promo code. Already deep up in the chat. Jacksonville Zoe, LJ from Houston, AOD, Mr. Heat, the motherfucking crew. Let's get to the monies. And it always sucks when you start the day off getting kicked in the balls, not getting to the money. So definitely starting the day climbing up from beyond the levels of hell right now, because Woodruff fucked me and my family, took money off of our table, and a spot that I would bet again at the end of the day. So life's a bitch, then you marry one. I guess you can't win them all, but definitely really like that spot to get then turned over and fucked in. My ass did not feel good. Like I told the judge on my last prison term, next time will you please use Vaseline, bro, at the end of the day. So yeah, life's a bitch, then you marry one, and we get on to it. Shout out to Big Show. He's got some family issues going on today. We almost didn't have a show, but Billy Briz popped up and he's going to run the show for us today. So I appreciate you. Big Show, get better. May the gods be with you and your family. And yeah, till we meet again on this show or in the Discord, get better, and I'll pray for you and your family. So let's get it. Shout out to Big Show. Chat, throw a little prayer hands up for our guy who's been here almost every fucking day except for the day or two he's needed a break. But shout out to you. Get your shit together and come back when you're ready, my guy, because I'll be waiting for a guy like you. No homo. So we've got a few games to talk about. Once again, if you don't tune into this show, you're welcome. We are that show who really be putting money in our pockets. We've got a few games to talk about that do crack off shortly, so I will talk about them first, and I will jump to a hitting prop that I want to talk about in that game, and then we'll get to the afternoon nighttime games. That way, if you show up to the recording of this game after 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, just fast forward to the afternoon games, because the games are already cracking off. So let's get to it. Clayton Kershaw, motherfucking 22, my fucking guy, Chavez Ravine. Let's get to it. Over his last 6, he's averaging 6.1 strikeouts. His last 8, he's averaging 6. And over his last 10 games, he's averaging 5.8. He does have a day ERA of 1.79 and a night of 3.51. Once again, this is a day game, cracks off in about 45 minutes. They had his K prop this morning at 6+ around minus 140 to minus 150 area range, and now it's ballooned and skyrocketed all the way up to a 7+ at the plus 120 range on my book, and around a minus 200 for that 6+ now. So I know some people have legal books and still can get that 5.5 around -140. And I'm going to tell you half unit bet that. Why am I going to not full unit bet it? Well, let's talk about it. He does average 10.8 strikeouts per 9 at home and only 8.19 on the road. He does strike out 8.4 lefties per 9 compared to a 9.78 right-handers per 9. And their lineup is projected 8 right-handers and 1 left-handed. Hey, Billy, mute yourself, please. And let's get to the numbers, guys. So the Giants have owned him, guys, since 2020. They've whooped his ass. He's been plagued by the home run ball, and he's faced them 2 times already this year. And then I run it up versus the numbers where they're at now. And if there was a day to have a day, Clayton Kershaw, the numbers say go have a fucking day today. So the Giants over the last 200 plate appearances are walking 9.4%, striking out at a 26% clip with a 227 average, 671 OPS, and an ISO of a 130. The last 2 times he's faced them this year, this team was hitting a 270 to a 290, depending on what game average-wise, and their fucking OPS was an 804 to a 940. 2 different teams he ran into. Earlier, he ran into some buzzsaws who were hitting lefties, and right now they're not. So, I expect Clayton Kershaw to go out there and deal. This number right here, this 26% K rate, I expect him to average at least a strikeout per inning in this spot, if not more. So Clayton Kershaw, 5.5, -140 to -150, if you can get him on your book, is a half unit bet for me. But let's talk about the next guy that is a full unit bet. Shout out to the chat. Smash the fucking like if you already haven't. 30 deep, 17 likes. So some of y'all haven't, so smash it. And let's talk about the Dirty K of the day so far. We got Joe motherfucking Muskrat, 7+ 106. And I know some of you guys go out there and get them at 5.5 at whatever number because you guys got legal books. But once again on this show, I don't fucking line search for value. I give you my fucking bet. So I bet a full unit on Joe Musgrove, 7+ at +106. Why? Well, over the last 6 games, he's averaging 5.5. Over the last 8, he's averaging 6.2. And over the last 10, it's 6.3. But if you take out that one game that he had, that he came back off of COVID, the man is averaging 6.7 strikeouts per game. Well, in his last game in Colorado, July 13th, was his first game ever in Colorado. And I said then, we stay the fuck off guys when they first pitch. Their first ever game in Colorado. We got to learn if they can pitch in Colorado. The elevation is real. Certain pitches don't break. And he started off hot. People fucking were cheering, and they did not hit their K-pop because why? You got a tough learning lesson of Joe Musgrove can't pitch in Colorado, and you paid for it. When you could have just watched and fucking learned. So sometimes you just got to watch and learn. When a guy has no history of pitching in Colorado, you fucking pass. When he played them in San Diego, June 10th, they were walking 8.2%, striking out at a 22.8 clip, hitting 260 with a 706 OPS and an ISO of 114. Mr. Musgrove went 7 innings, 8 strikeouts in that game. Well, let's dig a little fucking deeper. 3 games last year at home he played them, 11, 6, and 11 strikeouts. He went 7 innings in 2 games. Chris Bryant's not in the lineup, one of their better hitters. And when I run through his math, he strikes out lefties and righties pretty much the fucking same and averages about a strikeout per inning. So I expect Joe Musgrove to be out there 6+ innings, hit that 7+ strikeouts. If you can get that number 6, that is the golden number. That's what I have told my people and my friends that can bet it. And that's what I'm going to tell you. He just had 11, 6, and 11 in the 3 games last year at home. And then this year at home, he had 8 and 7 innings. So this guy pitches really well versus this team in San Diego, and I've got to expect nothing less. When I run the numbers up today to when he pitched versus them last time, they're pretty much fucking the same. So at the end of the day, I expect the same type of fucking performance from Mr. Musgrove. We are getting a good number on that plus money. I know some people can get that crazy plus 165 type shit, but once again, I have a fuck book because I be fucking them too much. And, sometimes you just got to bet a fuck number. And today, that number to me isn't high. That's his average over his last 10 games. And they were giving me plus money. And he just deals versus this team in San Diego. So, shout out to Joe Musgrove. Go on out there and do the damn thing. Taking the 3 games last year versus fucking Colorado in San Diego, he didn't give up more than one earned run combined in all 3 games. And then, like I said earlier this year, he dominated in 7 innings too. So he has their number in San Diego. Colorado, different story in Colorado. It's a different story for a lot of people. But definitely I am on Joe Musgrove, 7+ at +106. And then let's talk about the one hitting prop in these first games coming up that I got to bring up, guys. At the end of the day, we were preaching about him yesterday. I've been preaching about it since he got traded. Brandon fucking Drury, guys, for the San Diego Padres. What is he? Well, I've already preached to you guys this year that he's number 2 in the league off of hitting breaking balls this year, OPS-wise. He has a 900-plus OPS off of the breaking ball. Goldsmith, number 1. Brandon Drury, number 2. League average is 300 OPS. These guys have a 900-plus. Taking the fucking fact this fucker owns lefties compared to righties, and he hits righties really good, too. His righties at a 262 compared to a 309 versus lefties. His slugging is a 473, goes up to a 670 versus lefties. And his OPS is a respectable 806 versus right-handers and jumps up to 1,000-plus versus lefties. This guy hits lefties better than righties. He hits breaking balls second best in the motherfucking league. And the Rockies finished 25th in the last 30 days with a 4.53 ERA. 2+ bases, +124. I'm on this man, guys. At the end of the day, this guy just hits lefties, he hits breaking balls, and we got a shitty bullpen. Too many things add up for a guy that's just fucking... He's the guy that no one's going to look at in this lineup. Well, I'll look at him, and I'll fucking cash on him. So shout out to Brandon Drury. Go out there and get us some money back. All right, my kids are hungry. So let's talk some more pitching before we get into hitting. Those were the afternoon, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern games. So let's talk about the ones that will be fast forwarded to from the ones showing up late. Almost 40 live, 20-something likes. Smash the fucking like if you haven't. And we've got 7 K-props to talk about. Normally 6, but I ended up doing a little more on Hal, right? So we'll talk about him too. Let's talk about Carlos Carrasco, the Cookie Man. 6+ at -126 was his K-prop. And mind you guys, I wrote these K-props down early in the morning. I capped freaking sides and totals for Jimmy's show, and I haven't been able to get back to look at these numbers to see how much they move. So if they have moved some, throw it out into the chat. Let me know. I wish I could read you guys in the chat. I know you guys are talking to me, but for some lame-ass reason, my computer's got it, like, cut in half. So it's like, how you doing, Shark? What do you think of? So I'm sorry, I'm not being disrespectful. If I could read your guys' fucking shit in the chat, I would respond to it. But is what it is. Hit me up on Twitter if you got a question. All I see is half. Like, yeah. So let's get into the Cookie Man. He's averaging 5.7 over his last 10 strikeouts per 9. He's averaging 5 over his last 8 and 5.1 over his last 6. They put it at 6+ at -126. And he's going to run into a Braves team. Prize Picks has him at a 5.5. His fantasy score is at a 32.5. And the Cookie Man has 5 straight games going 5+ innings. I know that's not a lot, guys, but, I mean, that's about what he's going right now, 5 to 6 innings. And he's only allowed 3 earned runs in those 5 games combined. So it's like the guy's figured something out. Just the only issue with me is now he gets the team that he's running into, like the hottest team he'll face all fucking year long. And I know good pitching beats good hitting, guys, but at the end of the day, there's just something scary to me. The numbers say play his K-prop. He played them earlier this year. He went 8 innings, 0 earned runs with 5 Ks, and this team was walking 7.6 and striking 24% of the time. They're still walking 7% over the last 200, and now striking out 27%. The only thing is, though, is he's going to probably get his goddamn head cut off while he's running into a team that's hitting 249 average with a 760 OPS and an ISO of a 203. So when he faced them earlier, they had a weak 227 average and a 682 OPS and a weak ISO of a 144. So this is a different team he's seeing right now, different teams in all different areas. So I expect the strikeouts to be there, but yet him still to give up some runs. And those are the type of situations that I try to stay away from. Not saying it's a bad bet. To me, that's just scary. When a guy can get pulled at any given time for getting the dog shit beat out of him, that to me is just like, oh, man. But I cannot hate anybody looking at Carlos Carrasco today. The numbers say fucking play it. even though they are giving you something higher than what he's averaging over his last 10, last 8. And I get it. I get it, guys. He's going up. When I run the numbers up from May 3rd to today, it says play it. I just don't have the cojones to play it versus these Braves at the moment. But don't hate you if you do. And let's talk about Kyle Wright. Shout out to the damn chat. Finally getting them likes in here. Already 50 deep. Smash the like if you haven't. Already gave out the dirty K that I'm on that's going off earlier in the games. If you need to rewind, go ahead and do that. And let's talk about Kyle Wright. Kyle Wright, guys, he's 5+ at -124.5 on Prize Picks, and his fantasy scores at a 28.5. 10 of his last 12 games, he's gone 6+ innings, with 9 of them being quality starts. Drafted in the top 10 for a fucking reason, guys. He's got poise for days, and it doesn't hurt to have 97+. He's now going up against a team he's going to see for the second time, where he did go 7 innings with 5 strikeouts earlier in the year. And they were walking 8.2%, striking out 20% of the time back when he faced them on May 3rd. And now the walk percentage is pretty much the same, 7.5. The K percentage has dropped down to an 18.6. And their average has gone up to a 283 from a 270. And the OPS is just skyrocketed along with the ISO. They are crushing the fucking ball. 817 OPS and a 191 ISO compared to a 722 and a 103 back when he faced them May 3rd. Now, this is one of those teams, guys, that are in that category of you better have a good fucking reason to play a strikeout prop with. And to me, when I run up Kyle Wright, and I'm going to give you a golden nugget right here, guys, and this is why I didn't play him versus Arizona. And he didn't hit. Started off hot, didn't hit, guys. And this is the same reason why I got to stay off of him now. I didn't cap him that day, and I'm capping him now for you guys. It's the whiff percentage with this guy. And Arizona's a chase. I mean, he's the type who needs you to chase. Arizona, you need them to whiff. They will strike out in the zone. They're not going to chase much. And he's a guy who needs to strike people out of the zone. So that's the type of guy you really want to look out for his K props. This ain't the type of spot you want to run him in is versus the Mets. Now, can he get it? Yes. Anybody can have a great day, an outlier day. But look back at his last start where he went 7 innings and only had 5 strikeouts versus this team. So this team is one of those teams that putting the fucking ball into play and making contact that is super detrimental to a K prop. So take that into fact. He struggled versus teams with non-chase numbers, guys. So this team doesn't chase. They will strike out in the zone, but they don't chase often. So that's going to be why I will pass on the Cookie Man. But shout out to the chat. Hit the share, hit the retweet. We got 3 more K props to talk about, and then some hitting props. God, I love coffee. Whew. Alek Manoa, guys, 6+ at -132. Over his last 10, he's averaging 5.8. Over his last 8, he's averaging 5.9. And over his last 6, it's 5.6. So totally understand what we're getting is a 6+ -132. On Prize Picks, they have him at a 5.5. And on Fantasy Scores at a 36.5. Speaking of Prize Picks, they put Kershaw at a straight 6. And put that shit on your Prize Picks if you already haven't. Please and thank you. I don't think I told you guys that. But on the other hand, let's go talk about Manoa. 11 of his last 13 games, he's gone 6+ innings. And he hasn't seen the Twins all year. That is a good thing for our guy Manoa. The only bad thing is with this guy is he's super fucking lineup dependable. And they are running out 5 left-handers and 5 left-handed bats and 4 right-handed bats. Now, he strikes out 6.51 lefties per 9 and a nice 10 per 9 versus the right-handed side. So this guy is super dominant on needing to be out there now at least 6+ innings. Now, what I can tell you is I think he's out there 6+ innings, guys. So if you're looking at playing some Manoa today at a 6+, I don't hate it. He is coming off of a shellacking where he got his ass handed to him last time out. Well, when you dig into his numbers, he's had his ass handed to him 3 times this year. After those games where he's given up 3 earned runs or more, the very next game, he's bounced back every fucking time. 3 games, including 19.1 innings, allowing 3 earned runs combined. That tells me he's going 6+ innings in every game. 19.1, guys, that's 6.1 innings plus some. So definitely everything tells me he goes 6 innings today to get them strikeouts, but he is going to average roughly a strikeout per inning. And there's times, guys, where it's a fucking headache. And this could be a headache today because of how many lefties they put out there. He may need that extra inning to get that 6. He may need 7 innings to get that 6 strikeouts. But I definitely see 7 innings in the card for Mr. Manoa. So for Mr. Manoa today. So Alec Manoa, go out there and do the damn thing. I haven't bet you yet, but I expect a big game. I think I'm going to look at his earned runs or innings pitched. I'm definitely a different way to attack him with that many lefties, and me expecting a big bounce back from him today. There is ways to take advantage of that for sure. So let's talk about Verlander, guys, and it's getting to a point of where they're fucking maybe going to get some money from me. Like at first it was 6.5 plus 120 last night, and now it's plus 110 at 5.5 is the last I've seen, and I get it. Cleveland's one of those teams you don't want to fuck with, strikeout-wise, unless you have a good reason. Excuse me. And I even wrote that in there, and I can't find one. But then I wrote down the lineup, and I think I found one. Projected lineups, though, so I still need the lineup to come out. But if they're going to put 5 left-handed bats out there and 4 right-handed bats, I'm going to have to at least throw a half unit on the Verlander at plus money at 6 strikeouts. Now, I get it. It's Cleveland, and they're one of those teams you've got to be careful with running a K prop. And let's get into him. 11 of his last 12, he's gone 6+ innings. And going through the black book 3 times, I can compare Cleveland to the Mets. 3 times, 3 games. So I'm going to compare him to the Mets, Washington, and the Royals. Those are all teams at times throughout this year, and Royals not until they just traded their team. But those are 3 teams you fucking don't want to run into, guys, unless you have a good reason. Well, he didn't hit 6 strikeouts in but 1 of 2 of those games. And I even think they may have dropped it to a 4.5. So if they dropped it to a 4.5 on some books, I'm going to have to dick hole them. So I'm going to have to go back, check the numbers. Somebody throw it in the chat. Billy, throw it up here for me so I can see it. Because once again, I'm seeing half the chat. Shout out to the chat. Smash the fucking like if you haven't. But I know the Verlander numbers crashed, guys, and I think it's getting to the number to where they will see some fucking action versus me. So this team is walking 5.9% of the time. That's really good. I get it, guys. They are striking out 17.6% of the time. Really good. 281 average, 761 OPS, and an ISO of a 148. Well, like I was just about to say, when I run up against the black book, when he's faced the 3 teams already that don't strike out like this team, he's averaging 6.33 strikeouts a game, hitting the 6+ K just 1 of 3 times. So it's only at a 33% right now, but that everything's telling me, okay, you can't play it. You can't play it. But then I go look and see the lineups, guys, and they've projected 5 lefties where this guy strikes out 9.95 lefties per 9 innings compared to just 8.43 on the right-handed side. So you're going to give me the side that he strikes out more. I expect him to go 6+ innings, and even if he doesn't average a strikeout per inning, like I still think I can get 7 and 6, and I believe it's dropped to a 4.5. So if they're fucking stupid enough to give us a 5+ on one of the nastiest guys out there, and I get it, it's versus a good team, I will be on it. 6+, I will have to think about it a lot, look at the lineup, but it'll be probably a half unit play for myself. Then we're going to get into the last K prop, and it's Nick Pivetta, guys, and I can't play this guy, but all the numbers say play him, so let's talk about it. Over his last 10 games, he's averaging 5.6. Over his last 8, 5.2. Over his last 6, 4.6. They have him at 6+ at plus 104, and on Prize Picks, they got him at a straight 5. Fantasy scores at a 31.5. Now, when I dig through this guy's math, he averages the same home road strikeouts per 9, but strikeouts a 9.22 from the right-handed side compared to just a 7.9 from the left-handed side. Projected lineups is 5 left-handers and 4 right-handed bats. And these Royals, guys, they've been bad, and it's not the same team that they've been, and they've been able to pick on guys, and they're walking 7.4%, striking out at a 25.3%, and not good. 251 average, 684 OPS with a 122 ISO. So this team's just they're just in the fucking gutter. They traded all their good players except for maybe like 3 or 4, and they're super top ended of a lineup, and a lot of their numbers have gone out the window. That team that doesn't strike out sure strikes out a fucking lot now. So if you're looking at Nick Pivetta, when I run him through the black book, anytime he's faced a team 25% strikeout percentage or higher, he's had 11, 7, and 4. So definitely don't hate it. If you're going to look at that 6 and you're looking to play the 6, maybe ladder the guy up to that 9-hole spot, guys. Maybe because, I mean, he's hit that 11 before in this number before, and he's hit it at a 66% clip 2 out of 3 times this year. So don't hate anybody on Nick Pivetta. There's a reason why they put it higher than what he's done over his last 8 and 6, but it does match up to his last 10. So I get it. There's going to be money both ways. There's still people who think the Royals are that team who doesn't strike out, and until they prove me different with all these other guys, I've got to look at it. And I would not be surprised if Nick Pivetta goes out there and just fucking strikes the shit out of these guys tonight. But I ain't going to be on that guy. Like he hasn't been good, guys, over his last 5 games. He's given up 4 earned runs all but 1 game. I can't bet on a guy to just turn it around versus good numbers. But if you're on him, I'd look at the ladder. But like I can't bet on a guy to just turn it around because the numbers say, hey, you should go out there and strike them out. I don't just play numbers, guys. I play guys that strike people out. So yeah, let's get to it, guys. We got a few batters to talk about. Smash the like if you haven't, and let's get to it. Corey Seager, guys, has 15 hits off of Cueto, 9 singles, 2 doubles, and 4 home runs. Big first pitch swinger. His 2+ bases is at -103, and his home run plop is at +300. Cueto should be out there 6+ innings. He should have at least 3 fucking looks at him. If you're looking at running somebody today in a hit prop parlay, take him for a knock. He should at least have a single, but home run prop, not enough value in that +300. But -103 is always worth a look when Corey Seager's got good numbers off of a guy. So dude's a beast. Love me some Seager. And you already know what day it is, guys. It's Noah fucking Syndergaard Day. Y'all know what we do here, right? So, yeah, let's get to it, guys. This guy's allowed the most stolen bases over the last year and a half than any team combined, and we're going to pick on him as we can. I didn't get to go look at what the prop percentage numbers were, but let's dig into how he does versus lefties and righties. Versus lefties, he allows a 258 batting average compared to a 233. And he walks 3 per 9 innings from the left-handed side compared to just 2.1 walks per 9 innings from the right-handed side. So right-handed people don't get on base as much. Okay, cool. Let's go look at all the lefties and switch hitters. We got Pelosi, Ruiz, Garcia, Hernandez, and fucking Hernandez. I know Cesar Hernandez, guys, is probably going to be around that +2 to 300 stolen base prop, and it's still worth a shot at that number. I don't like playing numbers that low, but this guy's stealing a base today. I like to play guys at that +600, 700 and higher off of Verlander. Anybody you think's going to get a base hit today will steal a bag off of him. If you're fat and slow and have 0 bases stolen, guess what? You get on base, you too can have a stolen base. So Cesar Hernandez has got a 400 average with an on-base percentage of 471 and over 30 plate appearances off of Noah Syndergaard, guys. But like, at the end of the day, 5 out of 10 times you're getting on base with a fucking wicked amount of plate appearances. Yeah, sign me the fuck up. Cesar Hernandez, stolen base. Please and fucking thank you. And now we get to talk about the guy that everybody and their mother's been on, and now has ruined it because I guess I've talked about him too much and I'm being too nice. But Paul fucking Goldschmidt, we can no longer get 2+ bases at any type of valuable juice versus a lefty because, I mean, I guess everybody knows that this is the best player in the history of baseball power-wise versus a left-handed pitcher. Let's talk about it, guys. They're not fucking playing with goalie no more. 3+ bases is at even money, and I'm going to tell you how I'm going to bet this guy. And it ain't sure as fuck going to be 3+ bases. Paul Goldschmidt versus a left-handed pitcher. Let's get to it. Since 1913, since OPS has become a stat, he is #1 in MLB history in OPS. Damn. All right, let's get to it. Versus lefties this year, he's batting .463 compared to a nice .302 right-handed. His slugging is an absurd 551 versus righties and goes to a gnarly 900 versus lefties. And people would die to have his right-handed OPS at a 930, then jumps up to a 1400 plus versus lefties. We've been on this guy all fucking year, guys. I've rode him every fucking game over 1.5 bases. Today's going to be that day where I'm going to have to just fucking pass, bro. 3+ bases at plus 100, guys. Go suck a Johnson. And I'm not talking about the baby powder Johnson & Johnson. You know what I'm talking about, bookmakers. You think you're cute? No, I'm cute. I got a way how I'm going to bet them, so let's talk about it. And we're not going to talk about sex, baby. We're talking about Gold E and how we're going to have to hook them up to some shit to pay us. But fucking Goldsmith, guys, at the end of the day, it's not just how he hits lefties and OPS. Like I said earlier about Drury, guys, when we talked about his prop, he's number 1 in the league off of breaking balls with a 900 OPS when the league average is 300. So the guy destroys lefties, he destroys breaking balls, and the bullpen from the Cubs, if you look by the numbers, says it looks really good over the last 30 days. We know they've traded everybody and their mom, and you could throw those numbers out the trash like I got thrown out by my father when I was 2. Is what it is, guys. So I'm going to have to go look at Nolan Arenado, who's batting 510 at-bats off of newcomer. Hits, runs, RBIs is at a minus 153, 2+ at that. Hits, runs, RBIs. You know Goldsmith's going to be on base. All right, cool. Now you know you're going to get a hit 5 out of 10 times. You've got to knock off this guy. Well, Goldsmith probably gets a double, and you're going to score him with a single, maybe a double. I'm not going to care which way it happens, but yeah, I will be on Arenado. 2+ hits, 2+ hits, runs, RBIs at a minus 154. What I'm going to do with Paul Goldsmith, now on my bookie, and I keep preaching to you guys, there's a difference in, you got to look at hits and total bases from hits. If you're looking at one hit, look at what is one total base. It's the same exact fucking bet, worded different, juice different. Okay, whatever, your total bases is from hits, so you have to have a hit to get one total base. So you've got to look which one pays better, guys. And if you go to Paul Goldsmith over one total base, it's like minus 800. But if you go to his one hit, it was minus 500. So I'm going to take that minus 500 and I'm going to slap it to Eric Haase. One hit at minus 162. And I got a minus 107 on that bet. And I'm comfortable with where I'm at right there. I thought I wanted Haase over 1.5. They keep being disrespectful to this motherfucker. And I go look for the 1.5, and they give me a one hit at minus 162. Beavis, let's get into him, guys. Like, I'll take it and I'll slap it to Goldie, like I said. And I got a minus 107, not 117, minus 107. And since June, he's the hottest Tiger with 7 of his 10 home runs coming since June 1st. And if you go back to last year and knew anything about Eric Haase, guys, this dude ate lefties for breakfast. He struggled versus righties, but he destroyed lefties. Well, his numbers this year say he's about the same. Well, no. This guy's turned it on over since June, and we're going to ride him, guys. So I wanted over 1.5, but you're going to give me one hit, guys, at minus 162. Yeah, too easy, guys. Like, at the end of the day, we cashed on CJ Cron yesterday. You guys want to give me one hit on guys who have really good numbers off of lefties or righties that have really good value? Like, fuck off. And I know a lot of people look for plus money value on hitting props, but if you could bet a minus 160 money line, then why can't you bet a minus 140, minus 150 prop? I'm going to tell you, you need to track it, because at that rate, you need to be winning over 60%, but still something you should pay attention to. Don't let juice always shy you away from betting things. Juice is probably the right side more often than not. I don't track that, but yeah, don't be scared, as Mama once said. But Eric Haase, guys, like I said, he has 13 hits in 13 games off the All-Star break, and his numbers are just, they go through the roof versus lefties last year, and we've got hot Eric Haase. So one hit, slap the Goldies, one hit. Easiest thing I've done today, guys, besides make breakfast and fuck my baby's mom and send her on her way. So let's talk about the last Tiger. I'm still mad at the Pirates. That's what it is. But this is hit at over a 65% clip for me this year. Javier Baez, 2+ bases at plus 106. He fucks lefties in the eye holes. He struggles versus righties. Is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm going to keep playing it till it tells me not to play it. And yeah, lefties, he hits at a 333 compared to a 187 versus righties. 568 slugging drops to a 322 versus righties, and a 909 OPS versus a 360 or a 565 OPS versus righties. So this guy loves him some lefties. Spring should be out there 5-6 innings, and they got a middle of the pack bullpen right now. So definitely will be on Baez, 2+ bases, plus 106. And my little Jose Goldsmith hit parlay at a minus 107. Then I got Brandon Drury, which the game's probably done and over with by the time some of you guys get to tune into this. But 2+ bases as that plus 124. That game starts off soon, and I gave the breakdown for that earlier. Shout out to the chat. You guys rock. Smash the fucking like. If you fucking haven't, go on over to Prize Picks. Use promo code PUBSports. Your first match deposit up to $100. They got you. So do us a favor. Do you a favor and go on over there and use that promo code PUBSports. And until next time, let's pull these cheeks back and fuck them in the eye hole because they owe me some fucking money from this morning. And let's get to it.
Like, I am a god. Everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was. A god. I just told you. That's who I think I am.